Hi and welcome to the Beer Temple. I am Chris Quinn and I have a special show today. I say that all the time and I mean it, but this is a special show. Bourbon County has been released, a favorite beer of mine and of many across the country. Pretty hard to get. Luckily, it was a little bit easier than in years past thanks to the increased production from Goose Island. So I figured wasn't really scheduled to do a beer show today, but just picked it up from the store and was going to try it in one of these kind of situations where I figured, why not just try it with you guys and let you know if it's worth going out and trying to get. My guess is it's pretty much a foregone conclusion. This beer is one of my all-time favorite beers. I mean, right up there at like this or variants of it is probably like #1, to be honest. So I'm not going to come in really unbiased. I'm incredibly biased. I love this beer. For those of you who don't know or who don't remember, Bourbon County brand Stout from Goose Island Brewery here in Chicago is a bourbon barrel aged Russian Imperial Stout. It is the original bourbon barrel aged stout here, and they've been doing it for a long time. They've been bottling it since '05. There have been a couple unofficial bottlings previous to that, and if you ask me, they've got it down. In years past, they've really just been the best at getting this stuff going. Really accentuating all the characters of the beer and the barrel and the previous contents of the barrel, which is the bourbon, and just making a really wonderful beer. But who knows, maybe things have fallen off. They've upped production massively since the last year to try to help keep up with demand because it's been really tough to get this beer. And I know you guys have mentioned this on the site before when I kind of rate beers really high that are hard to get, and you're like, come on, Chris, I mean, yeah, it's a great beer, but I'll never be able to see it. I hope this is not the case this year. If it is, great. If it's not good, then who cares? But I know stores that were getting 1 case, 2 cases last year are getting 15 cases this year. So hopefully it'll be a little bit more available for those who want to go out and get it. You know, it's not going to be something you're just going to be able to stroll in next month and get it. You're going to have to kind of ask around and see where it's going to hit and show up the day or the day after that it shows up. But anyway, big beer this year. I think I don't know if it's been getting bigger and bigger. It feels like it has. It's 15% alcohol this year. That is big. That's bigger than most wines are. And it's was bottled on 8/23. It is now 9/14. So very fresh. Although, you know, it's interesting to try the beer fresh, but it is not by any stretch mandatory. I mean, this beer will last 6 years. It says 5 on there, but I've known it to go longer than 5 years. So let's give a nice pour of it. It pours almost like chocolate syrup. You know, getting into that kind of motor oil viscosity, something that this beer is very much known for. One thing I'm also noticing is I'm trying to get ahead on this thing, but it's just not happening. I've poured now probably 2/3 of the bottle into this snifter here, and absolutely no head at all. A couple bubbles showed and just kind of dissipated. In general, when the alcohol content of a beer gets so high, I think it's something with the surface tension of the liquid. It just becomes difficult for the beer to maintain the carbonation, and certainly a head. So I don't know if it's surface tension or not. It might be just something else with the alcohol. Anyway, it's pouring jet black. It's incredibly viscous, just really coating the glass as I swirl it. And man, it's thick. It is jet black. I mean, at the absolute rim, it's very dark brown. But I mean, you know, right at the top, I mean, it's jet black within 1 millimeter down on this beer. It's very dark, opaque. So lots of dark chocolate, a little bit more of a meaty character than I remember in previous incarnations of this beer. Definitely getting a lot of roast, coffee, bitter sweet chocolate, or I'm sorry, absolute like dark baking chocolate, I should say. Barrel, a lot of wood. I'm getting like bourbony, so like a caramel, coconut note here. Not as much as last year. I think it's a little bit heavier on the coffee and a little bit of umami in here. I think I'm picking up just kind of like a savory a scent, which I haven't noticed too much in the past. Certainly not very boozy. I know maybe 2 or 3 years ago it came off extremely hot. Little funny thing to note about this beer is it's very early for it to be Bourbon County season. Typically this beer comes out not for another couple months, in like November or something, if I remember correctly. Could be wrong. But from what I've heard, it's been such a hot year in general here in Chicago that the beer was ready, which is kind of cool for Goose Island to do that, to not stick to, okay, well, our November seasonal is Bourbon County, so that's when we're releasing it. They kind of just said, no, the beer's ready. When it's ready, that's when we're bottling it and shipping it out. And the beer's ready, so they released it early. Earliest, like I said, that I can remember. Not really a lot of fruit. It's all about that dark roast and chocolate, the bourbon, caramel, vanilla, and a little bit of kind of like an ashy quality as well. Delicious beer. There is some carbonation in there, so when you drink it, you do get a little bit of carbonation. A lot of the same character that you're getting on the nose, you get on the tongue. You certainly get the, you know, the roast and the dark chocolate. You maybe get a little bit of kind of like a blue fruit, like a blueberry, maybe a little blackberry too, like, or dried blackberry, dried blueberry. Nice. I mean, it's much more of like a toffee caramel mixed with the barrel character than the big kind of coconut vanilla that I've gotten in years past. Those are certainly there as well. One of the things I get from this beer a lot is almost like a chocolate dessert, like a chocolate vanilla dessert, because you get that vanilla character from the barrel and the chocolate from all those huge malts in there. And I'm definitely getting it here. Big beer, you taste the 15% alcohol. You get it after as it's just starting to go down your mouth. You definitely get that warming quality. And then it's still, you've got that kind of whiskey glow in your esophagus. I mean, I can feel it all the way down here. Certainly nothing like a shot of whiskey where it's burning, but you feel like that glow. This is a sipping beer, and you know, it's the best. I really, really like this beer. That's a big boy, man. 15%. Really an awesome beer. Hard to think of something that really is on the same level of this. Recently, I had the Parabola on the show. That's kind of what I would put up there. But this beer is even bigger. Bigger than the Parabola. Very well put together. I'm going to give this year's Bourbon County brand stout, I'm going to go 97 plus. Excellent beer. I'm very interested to see how it's going to age and progress. Yeah, 97 plus, bordering on 98, so it's right there. I know you guys were mentioning in posts that you want me to keep the numbers but grade them a little bit tougher. I'm doing that here, so I'll go 97 plus. I won't go to the 98. You know, it's an absolutely fabulous beer. If you guys do see it at a bar or in a store, pick it up. Around Chicago area, they're going for about $6 a bottle, although it is available in 4-packs, and it's about, you know, $23, $22 for a 6-pack. They give you a little bit of a break here. And another great thing is it's in a 12-ounce bottle. I mean, that's that's the size you want to consume this beer in. It's not a 22-ounce bottle beer. You need the smaller bottles. And this is going to take me quite a while to finish, but it's going to be a very enjoyable time. That's about it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you like this quick little special edition of the Beer Temple where I'm tasting the Bourbon County Stout. So, as I like to say, and I mean it as much now as I ever have before, I've got some great beer to drink, and hopefully you do too.